Okay, so we have Are You Amused in the back, and we also have Feats, but Feats ain't getting through. All right, so what's up, Are You Amused?
Ooh, I got an echo. I'm really fucking up. Hold on. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
I'm being so lame right now. I am so sorry. I don't know how to work this. All right, cool. I finally got it together. I apologize. Are y'all still on the same subject? Because it took
Bro,
me a
you haven't talked about Myron Gaines. Put Myron.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
Sorry, I don't know how to.
Dude, it's wow.
Yeah, this nigga's she's trying his best to interfere on everything.
He relentless.
Yeah, but he jumps in before I can block his account again so he can't get back in. Because you can ban someone permanently, but he jumps in and jumps out real quick. So,
Right.
man, next time he does it, he's finished. So, all right, so what do you got to say?
Oh, okay. So, in reference to the conversation with Stephen A, you know how the chat, the conversation was evolving amongst the women and stuff like that, right? So this is kind of a soapbox of mine. You was mentioning good guys, right? So my thing is like, what exactly is a good guy? Because even myself as a human being, I don't necessarily feel like I'm a good person. I don't feel like I'm a bad person. You know, like how is that? How do you measure good? Like, how is that quantified when it comes to good guys?
In these type of conversations, the good guy is generally synonymous with the guy that tries to be upfront, forward, honest with women, generally gets dusty results, gets used on dates, generally comes to the social media and complains about his issues, and he ends up finishing last. Although
Yeah, that's
women will
because
tell,
Myron Gaines is a high value man.
man, this guy waited for a moment where I was making a speech where I was not paying attention. Yo, these guys are so fucking annoying. Ah, Jesus
This
Christ.
shit is crazy.
All right, no, I'm a high alert. I'm getting this pussy now. Nah, this guy's getting out of here. This is his last run. This is like whack-a-mole right now. This guy just keeps, this is his last run. We getting him the fuck out of here. But as I was saying, it's like, yeah, these guys come and they sit on these panels and they talk about the value that they bring for women. They're talking about being responsible fathers. They're talking about what they earn, their school or their education. And they don't really have good results with women, although they get the comments in the comment section online telling them that they're good men, they should have these results. But they're typically the men that are complaining about women in these spaces. Those guys are typically what I look at as the good guy, because they're playing the games wrong. They're crying about the game. They're crying about the player instead of just acknowledging that this is the game and this is what's going on, and stop being so idealistic in what you want in women and deal with the reality in front of you. Those are the good guys. They don't really have a handle on that. They're struggling with that.
So I guess I would be considered a good woman then. I mean, by that logic. But I'm kind of fucking with you right now. But what's funny to me is like some of these same people that you're talking about to me are pieces of shit. Like some of these same dudes. Like when I came into these spaces, right? I've been called everything but a child of God for being a fat black single mother. You know what I'm saying? By these same good guys. And so my thing is, I think there's a way to have a conversation, right? That's like me saying, oh, hey, LTTV, I came here to help you, but yet I'm stepping on your toes at the same time with 6-inch heels on. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to take in that information. And my thing is, everyone's experience is valid, right? Even the pieces of shit that I've come across in these spaces, their experience is still valid. I will never tell a person how to feel. Myron Gaines,
What happened?
whatever you talking about, feet, get your ass out of here.
Oh, you
I
can
would
see,
never take
right?
that
Yeah,
from them,
I got
right?
that quick,
Because
but
everybody experience is valid. But I do think that, yeah, you did, you caught it. But I do think it's an effective way that you can have a conversation, not you, but generally speaking, right, where people are able to express how they feel and be able to get across, you know what I'm saying, what it is that they desire, et cetera, et cetera. But what I found is a lot of those conversations are superficial, right? And it's not because, oh, you being sensitive, you just need to lose weight, bitch. Like I used to hear all kind of shit, and I still do. All right, fine, whatever. Aside from that, you catch way more bees with honey than vinegar. That's like me telling a dude, you know what, babe? Like, I really love you, but your stroke game is trash. Like, nigga, you ain't hitting on nothing. Like what? Like, I really be wanting to cheat on you because it's like, yeah, it's a dude that I know from back in the day. My God, that nigga made my eyes cross. Like, I mean, how would a dude take that in? That motherfucker would despise me. You understand what I'm saying? So when some of these dudes get in these spaces, and don't get me wrong, I get the level of frustration, right? Because I understand that frustration. I'm a person that can empathize. I get it, right? But when it comes out, some of these people can't really expect, I don't know what they expect, but to me, it is irrational and unreasonable to think that somebody will hear you with an open heart. You know what I'm saying? And so that's my gripe with some of these people. And then they'll be like, oh, you just don't want to hear the truth. It's like, you know how they say, oh, brutal honesty. Like, to me, I don't really like that term, right? Because if I care about a person, if I care about how I leave you feeling, I don't have a need to be brutal. You know what I'm saying? If I give a you know? And so that's my gripe with some of these people. Like, a lot of these dudes are fucking baby Ike Turners talking about, oh, we care. It's because we care about y'all. Like, how the fuck, how you care? Because we had to go get this white mangy ass girl to come check. Like, you know, these dudes is weird out here. I'm sorry. I enjoy, somebody invited me, right, to your channel. I enjoy your content. So far, it's been a few days. First time I logged on, you was in the middle of a rant or something. And I was like, oh, I said, he got an attitude. I said, he seemed pissy. And I logged off, right? Next day I checked out, you know, starting towards the beginning of the show. You know what I'm saying? So, because, you know, when you catch stuff in the middle, you're like, what the hell going on? Anyway, I enjoy the energy because it's not, at least my perspective, your channel doesn't seem to be, you ain't trying to create hostile territory. You know what I'm saying? You're actually trying to build a brand. And I respect that. And so those spaces where I was getting all that energy, I honestly just had to remove myself because it was like trying to get a hug from a wall that was beating a dead horse. Like, what the fuck is the point? At the end of the day, it ain't nothing but stress for me. You know what I'm saying? Some people enjoy it, but to me, there's no point. So at the end of the day, I think a lot of this stuff is subjective, but it's all valid. And people just frustrated, and so it's not going to come out right. And some of these dudes just plain hate women. I'm sorry.
Yep, there's a lot of that, but a lot of the space is built off of making dating adversarial. So they will shout out that they do care and they're out for the best interest of women, but a lot of it is marketed towards having constant combat in men and women debating these talking points and trying to leverage some sort of talking point to leverage power in a relationship. And there's a lot of those talking points being espoused in these spaces, but a lot of it is marketing. A lot of it is marketing what we see in the gender wars strategically and coming across as, oh, I'm a good person, I'm just looking out for the best interest of the community, but really you're just marketing fuckery so people will argue back and forth to keep the content going. There's a lot of that in these spaces, but if people buy into it, I just look at it like, yeah, you want to participate in it, you buy into it, that's your issue at this point. So
exactly. And so that was my thing. Even when I was in those spaces, it was times where my feelings was hurt, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm the type of person, I can be abrasive, right? But I don't attack people on GP. Like, you have to do something to me. You know what I'm saying? And then when I get in these spaces, like, you being attacked just for being present, you know? And so it's interesting. And so there were times where I left, you know, and my feelings was hurt because I'm fucking human. And then people will say, oh, it's just the internet, which is bullshit, right? But that's a part of that conflict. And I get what you're saying in that regard, because the other day you was talking about, you know, just some things that you don't rock with, right? Yeah. And are you still there? Because your camera went out.
Yeah, one of my my Sony died.
Okay, no worries.
It dies
I just
often.
want to make sure you was there. And so you was ranting about some things that, you know, you don't rock with. And I get that sentiment, right? Because if you're a person of integrity, sometimes it's hard to take in a lot of the things that go on in these spaces, because like you said, it's marketing. So people used to tell me like, Jay, you just need to chill, just accept it as entertainment. And I'm like, how the fuck do I just accept this as entertainment when you got a ton of people that are looking for guidance. I wouldn't look for guidance on YouTube, but you got some people that are looking for answers. You got a lot of young people that come to these spaces looking for answers, looking for guidance, because a lot of them ain't got no motherfucking daddy, or their mom can't be present, or they just don't have parents for whatever reason. And then you have these people that say all kind of shit, and they just hear, like you said, the market, but people internalize this trash. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's a part of the conflict for me. But yeah, it's like, it's real unfortunate because a lot of this shit they're talking about, even the attractiveness, right? So you were talking about above average, what, all that stuff.
It's subjective.
Right. As you already know. And that's what cracks me up, because most people I know that's married, LT, most of them people are not the most attractive, right? Like, I see all sorts of people get married. I see all sorts of people that are married and that have been married. Do that like speak credence to the quality of their marriage? No, but you know, these spaces make it as if only certain people can get married. And a lot of these people just fucking delusional. Like even some of these dudes, they out here looking like 3 fucking bags of fucking juicy garbage talking about these people fucking crazy out here, like for real. Like, so it's just kind of weird to me. Okay, give me your perspective, because I ramble a lot. So you got to pull me in, and I'm good with that, because this your shit. So question, when it comes to this is my thought when it comes to a lot of this criteria and all these requirements, right? This is how I feel. And you can tell me what your thoughts are. I feel like people are confused because they're getting superficial results, but most of these spaces, all they talk about is superficial things. So should somebody anticipate having a different experience outside of superficial? That's the part that I don't get.
I don't think that you can look for solutions in a space that is marketed as community building and relationship building, but really and truly that's not what they're there for. They're not solution oriented. So buying into a lot of these spaces, you're just buying into more problems, and you start inheriting the problems that they're dealing with in relationships, instead of just separating yourself and going outside and dealing with people in the real world. Because a lot of these talking points have no business in actual conversations while trying to build with somebody in a relationship. Even some of the points that I make these points because I'm on a show and the points are valid, but I would not communicate these points the way I would do it on air as I would do it to a woman that I'm speaking to, or my woman. So it's like a lot of these things lead people astray, but it's entertainment. So it's marketed as community building, so everybody gets involved. But people need to take a step back and just use some critical thinking and understand that this is all entertainment. Even the points that you agree with, they're just points you agree with simply. You should not use them as your ideology to run off and live life now, because it's just entertainment.
Right. And that's exactly what they're doing. Like you said, see, you're able to gather context and nuance. Like you're able to break down the layers, right? You have people, like you said, these conversations, you wouldn't necessarily have these specific type conversations with a woman in person. You got some of these damn weirdos actually go out and have these conversations outside, offline. And it's just strange. Like these people are insane. I don't know. It's just baffling to me.
Hold on. Can I stop you for 1 second?
Sure,
I have to respond to this. A Lady 747 says, why do you do it if it's harmful? You know your audience is a little slow. I don't think my audience is as dense as a lot of audiences out there. I think my audience actually has y'all contribute a lot. Y'all actually say some witty things here and there. Y'all need to give yourself a little more credit. I don't think that what I say in my rhetoric is harmful. I'm talking about the way I deliver some of the things that I say. I might be direct and I might word it in a way where a large group of people could understand it, but I would not be wording that to a woman that I'm dealing with intimately. Like some of these words and the way some of these things come off, like these are talking points that you're not gonna, like even the leadership shit in a relationship, a lot of these things are unspoken. A woman's just naturally respectful and she's just in her role. A man is naturally respectful. He's in his role. There's not these talking points in a relationship talking about, oh, I'm leading, you're stepping on my foot. It's just natural. So a lot of these points that we espouse is just for people to understand. You're not supposed to take the direct talking point and copy and paste it and bring it into a conversation. And it's not like when she said harmful, I don't believe anything that I'm saying is harmful. It's just my opinion. If it ends up being harmful, then it is what it is. But You know, I believe everything that I'm saying here. I'm not trying to sell y'all some marketing. I think that the way I do my show markets itself, just keeping it authentic with these topics and keeping the constant topics that are, you know, hot topics being spoken about. So I don't need to do that the way I built my show, but a lot of folks do that.
You're the first person that has articulated it in that way. You the first person I have heard since I've been in these spaces for a couple years that has articulated it in that way to differentiate. That's the problem. A lot of them don't differentiate. You know what I'm saying? And they're not able to separate, and the lines become blurred, and it just becomes a whole clusterfuck. Yeah, but in regards to that stuff, my other point, do you have a time limit? I'm sorry, dear.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so Steven, right? When people start talking about the whining and stuff like that in the chat, when you caught the comments, when I talk about whining personally, and I know this isn't logical, right? But I'm a person, I go off people energy, right? I could rock with anybody, even through disagreements, if they energy isn't malicious, right? So in that regard, there's a certain energy that comes with whining, in my opinion. And it's not about what is said, it's how it's said, right? And so then people get mad and say, oh, you're trying to tone police. It's not that. But people still have to be mindful how they try to get their point across if they want somebody to listen. So even Stephen A., this is my issue. When I talk about guys whining, guys that whine, they will make every complaint in the book, but they lack the capacity to self-reflect. You see what I'm saying? And so even in the examples that Stephen was given, everything, the whole narrative was around what is being done to the man. And to me, that's what creates victims, and that's what comes off as whining, in my opinion.
It's true.
When I come across a dude that has balance in his thinking, and he's able to say, well, listen, I don't really feel appreciated, you know what I'm saying? XYZ, you know, and they just articulate what they feel like, dang, Jay, like, I would really appreciate XYZ. When you do this, this is how you leave me feeling. Now, I can understand that maybe since, you know, I'm not always coming home on time, that you may feel away, and I get that, but I just want to, like, to me, that's the ability to self-reflect. They're able to go back and forth and see how the other person feel. A lot of these fucking weirdos don't do that. They just create this whole goddamn checklist, especially when it comes to black women. It's a whole checklist of everything we didn't do right. Some of these same guys you're talking about, the good guys, them motherfuckers done told me I'm the problem with the community. I've been called hoes. I've been called everything. You know what I'm saying? And so it's amazing to me because it's like, okay, well, bitch, where your daddy at? You mad because you don't even know where your daddy at, but you over here trying to take it out on me. They ain't got shit to do with me. You know what I'm saying? But I digress, you know, but it's funny because that's the kind of energy that the shit give. But yeah, anybody that could self-reflect, I could work with that. But when people are constantly browbeating and attacking, it's hard to take in. That's just like a dude that come home every day and his wife got a complaint every day. And throughout those complaints, she don't take the time to say, well, you know what, babe, I know I'm kind of bitching, you know, but I truly appreciate you going out and working and whatever every day and holding it down for us. In the midst of the quote unquote nagging, if she was able to insert that here or there, he may be able to take it in a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So I think that people just have to be mindful. Yep. I could get on a soapbox and talk about all the shitty things that have been done to me. But if I don't self-reflect and I don't say, okay, well, I could see how there have been times where I exacerbated a situation or I created this volatile atmosphere because I felt the way and I didn't articulate it. Me personally, I can't stand no crying ass nigga. Listen, LT, I don't know what it is, but it's almost like a demon getting me, like for real. I don't even allow my children to fucking whine. I can't deal with no whining man. I have 2 boys. When they get hurt, they allowed to feel away. They allowed to cry. They even allowed to be angry. My little one to tell me I'm angry. I be like, it's okay to be angry, but you better not slam my damn door.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? So I don't even suppress my children's feelings because people should be able to express how they feel. But that's the issue with a lot of people in general. We wasn't allowed the grace to express our feelings, so we don't know how to articulate.
That is very true. That is
and
very
so that
true.
was something I had to learn too myself. I didn't know how to articulate because you know, especially how folks get down with us. Like who you think you supposed to be mad in this house? You don't pay no damn bills. You know what I'm saying? So that was the sentiment. But me, I allow my kids to express themselves. But my child, like if he scrape his knee and he want to cry, I give him a hug. I look at his knee. I be like, oh, that hurt, didn't it? Yeah, he'll cry. I love on him. But we ain't finna milk this shit.
This is
I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna check out his knee, make sure it ain't nothing major. And I'd be like, okay, wipe your face. And I send him on his way.
these are the
And so
points
I'm
that I
damn
try
sure not
to.
gonna listen to a man crying. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
what you
see,
said,
these
baby?
are the points that I try to get across to folks on these airways, especially the Manosphere folks, when it comes to complaining and whining. The way you described it, I try to let them understand the way they constantly complain about masculine women and women being so aggressive and masculine and blah, blah, blah. It's off-putting. It's
Oh, they
turning
can't
them
stand my
off.
man acting
It is
ass. Oh, I'm a
exactly
man,
the
let them
same.
tell it.
Sorry?
I say I'm a man, let them tell it.
Yeah, so it's like when they complain about those type of things, they have to understand that the way a man complains and constantly whines is exactly the same way women feel about men. Wait, I'm fucking this up. I'm confusing my words. God damn, it's late. Hold on. The way men feel about women that are masculine is the same way women feel about men that are constantly complaining and whining. They try to use the gay version. Oh, if a man's gay and feminine, that's the way. But no, if a man's constantly complaining on these airways about what women are doing, that is the equivalent. So they use the wrong equivalent in the red pill space, but the right equivalent is a complaining, whining, constantly bickering, has no solutions ass man. That's what the women hate. And it repulses them. And I understand that. And I try to save these guys from themselves, but they just want to complain for content. So it is what it is.
Listen, LT, I've been on panels where people, the same dudes that can't stand fat ass women, I'm talking about literally have a conversation about fat women for over 2 hours. I say, you motherfuckers is sick. Because ain't no way in hell I would be sitting here talking about some shit I ain't attracted to for 2 hours. That's like me talking about an ugly ass nigga or a nigga with a short dick for 2 hours. For what? Why?
Just wasting.
Like, why? Why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. I rub people the wrong way because my thing is it doesn't bother me, right? Don't get me wrong. Socially, of course, people feel away when they don't feel accepted socially, generally speaking, right? I get that aspect, right? But ain't no way in hell I'm gonna sit here and cry in the car because a motherfucker don't like me because I'm fat. And then you have this is the thing that's weird. And then you'll have some people going back and forth with these people, and I'm like, ain't no way in hell I'm gonna sit here arguing with you about something you don't like. If you don't like me, move the fuck around. Like, it's really simple. And that's the thing that I feel like a lot of people get caught up with, right? Because as humans, we want acceptance. And I do too in different aspects, right? And then we find ourselves beating the wall, just like these men who complain about these women that treat them like shit. It's like we have to be able to reflect on how did we contribute to the situation? You got some of these same men that want to cry in the motherfucking car, but they was passive as fuck and allowed shit to happen just because she was cute as fuck. And you already know. A lot of dudes, if a girl is fine, super attractive, whatever, they will let a lot of shit slide. I don't feel sorry for them niggas. You get what the fuck you get.
That's facts.
It's a cost you got to pay, and that's the motherfucking cost. And now you want to get on the internet and motherfucking cry. I don't want to hear it.
This goes right into my talking point when I was talking about reading the red flags in a woman, but continuing on and investing in her, marrying her, having kids with her, and then crying to the internet when it goes left. It's like you've seen the red flags. And then women will get on these airways and try to talk a man out of his standards to not see the red flags. And they make the mistake by feeding into that and listening to women instead of standing on their principles and their standards. So I try to save people from themselves. It doesn't really work, but I don't really give much of an effort. I'm not really trying to convince folks. I put the information out there. If they take it, they take it. If they want to leave it, they leave it. I don't really care that much. But yeah, this has been a good conversation. I don't know what to call you because your name is Are You Amused, but I don't want to say that shit every time.
People that know me as just Jay. You can call me Jay.
Jay, okay. Thank you, Jay. I'm going to wrap up this episode, but I really appreciate your call. This was a very good conversation.
I appreciate your time, and thank you for having me. I'll be back, and I'll be in the clouds sometimes. Either way, when I'm online, I support good people, so I appreciate you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. All right, folks, we wrapping up the show. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to all the super chats. Did I miss anything? I don't think I missed anything. I think I got everything. Yeah, that was a good conversation. I like those nice, good conversations where we actually get some substance out of these conversations. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I don't think I missed any super chats, but shout out to everybody that hit the super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Shout out to everybody that hit that PayPal. The PayPal goes a lot farther because YouTube is not in on it. That is right in the pocket.
Was 0 down, no credit. Yeah.
Shout out to y'all. We out. Yeah.